A lot of fans are going to start to believe that hype.
Got to get to playoffs if you want to be dominant in playoffs. Let's see if he can put his money where his mouth is. Can they secure that spot here today? 9-7 currently on the record. Cloud9 11-5, but as you said, a lot of those losses more recent than they are further away. Team Liquid will ban out the Braum and the Gangplank to start things off. Cloud9 getting rid of the Xayah and Galio.
And definitely the case. I mean, four of their last 7 games have been losses here for Cloud9. You know, that is the second half for them. And CLG is really going to be cheering for Cloud9 as well. CLG, you know, needs TL or TSM to go 0-2 this week to have a chance of making it into playoffs if they also 2-0. So definitely a lot of playoff implications on the line here. Liquid liking to clinch their playoff spot, but also to dash CLG's hopes.
Liquid will ban out the Orianna as the final ban for this first part of the draft. They know that that's one of Jensen's most well-known champions in all of League of Legends. You don't want to give them that kind of a comfort pick here in Week 9 in a game that can mean so much. Not just like you said for their team, but for many other teams. So Liquid would love to make sure that they can earn that spot that they feel they deserve.
Cloud9 has the opportunity to just leave both the junglers up here and do a trade.
Yep.
And it looks like that may be the choice. If you go for a first pick Ryze here for a Pobelter, that allows Cloud9 to choose, do you want the Olaf or do you want the Skarner? And kind of go from there. You're expecting your opponents to take the other one. And I think that you should really go with the Olaf if it is going to be one or the other because of how well I think that champion matches up. But at the same time, even if the jungle matchup isn't that good for Skarner, you are still forcing your opponents to build those QSSs. You are still, you know, kind of adding some different value.
I think you should go for Skarner because he is my favorite. Top tier analysis, I know.
Someone like
I'm glad I was able to enlighten you, my friend.
Thank you, thank you.
But Gnar is locked in first for Cloud9. They're not really prioritizing needing to get that jungler in there immediately either. You'd have to think that the Kindred hover is going to be a little bit of a troll here. The crowd's getting...
The blind Kindred.
Yeah, blind Kindred. What could possibly go wrong? There's no way this could backfire on you at all.
I would love to see it. I mean, this is actually probably my most played champion ever. I love Kindred. Yeah.
I thought you were dirty kale picker.
No, it's my most played. It just hasn't been that recent because
feels bad.
Yeah, it's hard to do well against all these predator people who just run at you and kill you.
Really bad. Well, Cloud9 decides that they're going to start this draft off, locking in both solo laners right from the get-go.
Okay.
They pick the Azir into the Ryze, and they blind pick the Gnar.
This is a pretty interesting draft because it does give TL the opportunity to kind of have parity in picks. They can also grab up their top laner if they want, and there may be differences in priority here because if you want to go for your bottom lane, that's going to be able to give you the option to kind of get an advantage there by banning out what your opponents have not yet chosen on that side of the map.
Well, the Tahm Kench picked up means that we are going to have some more of that pick denial, that saving ability that we've seen priority placed on in these first couple of games. Let's see what Team Liquid wants to do for that third pick, though. They only got one more before the second part of the bans roll in. There you go. There's the jungle presence. That's kind of what we were expecting. Skarner, the one they choose out of that Skarner-Olaf dichotomy.
This is interesting from TL because they grabbed the Tahm Kench. They had already banned the Braum. So now if you're expecting to see the Olaf, which is likely the case, then you can ban something like the Alistar, you could ban out even the Taric, and you could force Smoothie off of a tank support if that is what you want to do. And that may be exactly what they're going for here in the second round of picks and bans. I'm at least expecting to see an Alistar ban out of Team Liquid. That is something that has been so good and such comfort for Smoothie this season. It is his most played, but in general, he's just loved being on tanks. 5 Alistar picks, 3 Taric picks, 3 Braum picks, and 2 Tahm Kench. Those are his 4 most played.
And when you look at the remaining champs, it's still all about tanky champions. He's not playing these enchanter styles. The remaining picks that he has, 1 on Blitzcrank, 1 on Rakan, 1 on Leona. So this is Smoothie's archetype. This is where they want to see him. And Alistar, like you said, probably going to be one of the bans here this time around. As Camille is banned away by Cloud9, traditionally one of the picks that can do very well into the Gnar. They want to shut that down. Yeah,
give a little bit of protection to Licorice there with the blind pick Gnar. But there certainly are a lot of options for TL as top laners are concerned. The Alistar will be the ban in question there for them. So
fantastic
more targeting on Smoothie. Thank you. We'll have to see if they are going to fully try to ban out the tanks. Do you bother with something like the Taric? Are you concerned with that? If not, you can just simply leave that up. Obviously, Tahm Kench can answer the Taric Dazzle, the stun, pretty easily with his Devour.
The thing is about Taric, we talked earlier, Azael, about how Olaf can go immune to CC, but he can't go immune to being dead.
Ooh, that's a nice combo.
With Taric, you can be immune to being dead. Makes things a little bit tricky to find an answer for him, but Cloud9 will ban away the Tristana, keeping some of that hyper carry potential away from DoubleLift. They know he's already got a Tahm Kench on his side, so they don't want him to have a champion that can peel for itself as well.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Just being able to target some of these champions that are going to be able to bring a lot of damage to the table, especially when you already have the defensive support. It leads itself to it being more of a protected DoubleLift style game. Caitlyn is still up, though, something that he was able to play to great effect last week, and I think it is a pretty powerful pick. The Azir ban coming out here over onto Sneaky, and Varus still on the table, is a strong laner, is someone who can have quite a bit of success, but has not been doing as well in competitive play in the last couple of weeks.
Well, we'll see what Sneaky can do on it here today. We've seen him pull out some crazy performances in the past, and for Cloud9, that means it will be their support pick last. So not utilizing one of those advantages that traditionally comes with Red side of getting a counter pick with your last pick in the draft.
Yeah, it is interesting, and some of the teams that do utilize this, like a lot of Afromoose teams have done this in the past, if you have something that you think is a very specific counter pick in lane or works really well into different matchups or things like this, you can sometimes just leave that support pick till last to try to get your advantage through roaming or through other types of things there. Jinx would make some sense with Tahm Kench. I feel like if you're going to go Jhin, you might have the risk of being too low on damage here. Jhin, obviously very heavy with the CC, can combo pretty well with Tahm Kench, you know, get the tongue lash into a root. That allows you to get time for the stacks into a stun and that sort of thing. But as far as the pure damage output on this team, you know, Ornn is obviously going to be pretty low. Skarner is not really high there too. A lot of the heavy carrying of taking down tanks is going to have to be from Pobelter on the Ryze. And last pick here from Smoothie, looking like it's a Thresh.
Locked in.
All right.
So that's going to be a fun one to watch. Thresh is always one of those champions that you can completely just decide the outcome of the game on your own with some clutch saves and some big hooks. But I'm looking at Team Liquid's comp as somebody who likes to play jungle, and these lanes are ideal for ganks right now. Every single one can set Xmithie up, make it easy to land that fracture and get the follow-up stun.
Yeah, definitely the case, and that's why you're going to see Jensen go cleanse against the Ryze, you know, to be able to remove that root. We'll see how everyone else is going to be able to handle that. You know, in the bottom lane, Smoothie's going to have to do some work with the Lantern, try to keep Sneaky safe. And while the Tahm Kench Thresh matchup is not that good for Thresh because you can simply eat your AD carry out of those hooks, we're likely going to see Smoothie try to create pressure on the map through roaming. Getting out on the map, look to pressure other lanes, look to threaten with the roams constantly, join up with Svenskeren and try to really get work done there and have it less be about the straight up kill pressure in a 2v2.
We've seen Smoothie do that so much this split, and a lot of that too is because Sneaky does very well just holding his own in a 1 versus 2. Now Varus, he's on a champion that doesn't exactly have many ways to get away from a collapse. So if I'm looking at Cloud9 and saying, Smoothie wants to roam, Smoothie wants to make plays, I'm looking at Liquid to say, Sneaky's alone, go get him.
Yeah, definitely the case. And likewise, if Olleh is trying to match the roams here with Smoothie, a Jhin is not very safe from an Olaf looking to run you down. So both these AD carries, pretty team dependent, need to be kept safe, and we'll see who can really be enabled best.
On to the Rift we go for game number 3 of the day. Cloud9 fighting to maintain their spot for that playoff bye. Team Liquid fighting to just earn their spot to go into the postseason anyway. Remember, if you don't have a playoff spot at the end of this week's games, you're done till summer.
Yeah, and that is definitely not something that these teams want to be facing. You know, Cloud9, they are locked into playoffs, but they want that bye. And for TL, all the effort, all the money that was put into rebuilding this team, you know, getting them this star-studded lineup, you know, building their training facility, getting a new coach, doing all these things, right, that they have kind of put into this team, to have them fall short of playoffs would be nothing short of a catastrophe. Yeah. There's really high expectations for this team. And a lot of people were talking about this team as a championship contender, as someone who should be, you know, challenging to be the best in North America. And they need to prove that they can do that.
I mean, go back to the beginning of the split. Go back to before a single game was played in Spring Split 2018. The two names everybody kept talking about, oh, TSM, this roster looks amazing. Oh, Team Liquid, this is a championship caliber team. It's going to be all about these two as things have gone on. And they both settled into middle of the pack kind of type teams. It's upper middle of the pack, but they're still not showcasing that domination. And for Team Liquid, this is not a new organization. These aren't brand new
The
players.
invade coming
And
in.
now the invade is there. Svenskeren is able to steal away that red buff. Olleh in some trouble, having to flash out already. Cloud9 with some moves early on.
Pretty crazy start there from C9, and they're going to just try to walk straight through Tribrush. That is going to put Xmithie pretty far behind. Both junglers actually smite it. Looked like it went down to 8 HP before it was taken away there from Svenskeren. And Svenskeren now going to be able to bully him out of his jungle. He's going to take out the Raptors too, so Xmithie's going to come back to a pretty empty jungle.
Huge part of this, Cloud9 took the Skarner Spire before they went in for that. A level 1 Skarner is a big melee minion if he's not on his point. His Q does 22 damage. He's even purple, like a minion can be. He's completely useless.
Yeah.
Xmithie had no way to try to contest those camps.
Yeah, really no chance. But at the same time, it's very risky because if Xmithie is the one who gets that red buff and you become level 2, you can level up your E and all of a sudden stun. But Olleh has no flash. He could get taken down.
Olleh without summoner. Sneaky goes forward. One more auto attack to do it, but they can't get the damage. DoubleLift, can you turn this around now? Looks like no, but Olleh surviving there. You got to at least call that a small miracle.
Yeah, seriously. So many summoners blown there by C9 trying to get that kill, but they just barely can't. And now it's actually summoner advantage for TL on the bottom side of the map.
Xmithie top side clearing out some of his own jungle. You see he went to the Scuttle Crab first. He knew his bottom side of the jungle was just not even going to be a point of contention here as Team Liquid gets Olleh back into the bottom lane through Summoner Spellbook Teleport. So it's still a 1 summoner to 0 summoner advantage for Team Liquid, but Cloud9, that's got to be frustrating to just barely miss out on that kill onto Olleh.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, he had almost no health left, and having a flashless Varus, when Xmithie can get down there, it is risky. It's going to be hard for Sneaky to survive any potential ganks, and this may kind of have to change the way that they play out the lane. You may see Smoothie positioning further back, trying to be ready for any potential lanterns, and Pobelter just going to simply TP back to lane on his tier completion. Look to try to keep Jensen shoved in here a little bit.
We always talk about these tiers. We talk about the Archangel staffs, and Ryze, always one of the most prominent users of tier in all of League of Legends. Really happy about these item reworks that make him just feel better than ever in terms of how he's going to itemize and when he hits those power spikes.
In the case of Licorice getting really low there.
Yeah, that feels bad when Impact's able to just walk up, put that much damage down on you. Licorice going into Mega Gnar will restore a little bit of health, keep him okay in this matchup, especially considering Impact is almost out of mana, but that is not going to stop him from going right back in there and finding a little bit more damage before he will inevitably go back to base.
One of the nice things, though, about Ornn is you can actually spend your gold with the passive to just build up a mana crystal, and so as long as you have health, you can still go for this. But you see Svenskeren just going with the Predator onto Pobelter.
Svenskeren flashing forward, looking to secure the kill here onto POB. A little bit more damage will do it. Jensen going in here as well, and first blood over to Svenskeren. Xmithie tries to fight him, but it's a double kill, and the pull to safety! Smoothie, you monster!
Smoothie in the right place at the right time, and Svenskeren and Jensen teaming up to pull off the slimmest of margins there. Barely able to get the kills and get out, but they get both kills, and this Olaf is going to be so far ahead now after the red buff, after this double kill.
Mr. Steal Yo camps, Mr. Kill Yo jungler, this guy is going off. Svenskeren with the plays.
Yeah, runs straight in. He had the early boots buy for the Predator. Goes in, gets the first kill. Xmithie, just no damage left in the tank, and Svenskeren with the lifesteal from his W, they get the kill, they get the level up, and the TP from Impact not in time as Smoothie comes in with the lantern to pull him to safety. Just incredible stuff there from C9.
Svenskeren putting on his peanut cosplay, going in the enemy jungle with the Olaf, constantly making his opponent's life hell. That's what I want to see when people lock in this pick, and that's why it's been so good against Skarner.
And especially when you have that big advantage from level 1, right? Extend that, utilize that, don't play passively, don't give him the time to catch back up. He steals multiple camps with the red and the Raptors early on, and then you can really assert your dominance, and he's 2 full levels up. This is a level 6 Olaf to the level 4 Skarner here. He's going to be going back to base with a lot of gold, and certainly going to have his chances to snowball this game.
Svenskeren could not be off to a better start this time around, and we always talk about Skarner and farm speed and how you can just passively gain a lead like that. 30 CS to 43, showcasing
nice
just what's going on here as Olleh will save DoubleLift. Smoothie constantly looking to make those plays.
Yeah, definitely the case. Smoothie fishing for the hook, but Olleh is in position. And it's one of those questions where you're always kind of wondering, should you take the ride in on that hook into the Tahm Kench, because Tahm Kench can really turn those fights around on you if he gets those stacks. So definitely dangerous, and you have to be pretty sure you're going to win that 2v2 if you're going to take that ride. Here's Svenskeren again. Xmithie, you don't want to take this fight 1 versus 1, but he knows he's got his mid laner here to help him, and Svenskeren's just like, all right, thanks for the leash, but Xmithie says, no, thank you, goes back in for the smite. Svenskeren doesn't smite it away. Yeah, Sven had his smite available and is a level up, so probably could have taken that. Maybe didn't expect Xmithie to come back and actually smite that away, so could have thought he was going to get it for free. But either way, it looks like he takes away the red there, which is a big deal. He perhaps wanted to save the smite for that. Keeping the smite there and then making sure he has the other one to make a play afterwards, whether it's towards the gank or towards the Drake. Sometimes the chicken just isn't the highest priority. Nicely done, though, either way. And Licorice really getting bullied pretty heavily here in the bottom lane, despite the fact that Impact actually spent his TP to TP to the bot side. The farm is dead even, pretty much, and it's C9 starting up this dragon. Getting the Ocean this early on always feels so good for the sustain in lane. But Smoothie has set the trap. He lands the hook onto Xmithie. Looking to throw down the lantern, bringing the team in here as well. Olleh is going to be in some trouble, trying to get himself out. Jensen wants to collapse, make even more happen here. Coming over the wall, he goes to the shuffle, misses. Xmithie will walk away, but Smoothie's gone fishing. Gets himself one, going to be dragged underneath the turret. DoubleLift grabbing the kill onto him, but it's a trade. Sneaky gets the damage on that one. Svenskeren and Jensen walking away from here. DoubleLift stays alive, opens up the curtain call. Svenskeren will be the target. Jensen will body block the shots. Cloud9 comes out on top. Yeah, they do come out on top, but a nice ultimate there from Xmithie to at least trade back 1 kill over onto Smoothie, and DoubleLift trying to put the damage out to threaten them off. Continued dive, and he is able to do that, so trying to hang on here is TL in this early game. Already down quite a bit, and this has just been such a tremendous start. C9 getting the dragon, Smoothie in position, the double play, slowing them both down. Predator pop again here by Svenskeren, just straight in, knows he's so strong at this point, and Jensen goes over, looks for the shuffle. Nice flash by Xmithie, barely gets him out. And then here it is, quick ultimate. Honestly, a really good job there from Xmithie to allow them to at least trade 1 kill back. Svenskeren having a lot of good moments so far this game. Gets the Drake, he's 4 for 4 on kill participation, and remember, Azael, this is a player who last season on TSM was usually the draw of a lot of anger and frustration from fans. They blamed him for a lot of this team's problems, and now that he's finding himself on this Cloud9 roster, he's had a lot of success, he's had a lot of big games, and for him, that's got to be fantastic, being justified, being vindicated, and saying, no, I'm still a pretty damn good player, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. Definitely the case. I mean, he was pretty vocal about it early on in the split when asked in interviews about how he felt more comfortable on Cloud9 and felt like they were allowing him to play his style, allowing him to really do his best in a lot of these games. And he's up to a 4-0 start, has stolen both the red buffs away from Xmithie, and going to have a lot of gold in his pocket when he goes back. It's going to be a big buy for him. Yeah, that is Cinderhulk plus Lucidity Boots with the Predator this early on is so strong. Even building towards that Righteous Glory, it looks like. So this guy is going to be a monster. All playmaking, going for Chilling Smite as well, just to have that extra setup. You mentioned it in one of the previous games. It allows you to hit the first axe much more easily. Set up those subsequent axe pickups. Xmithie going for the red smite onto Skarner this game, so a little bit more dueling potential there. But you're still not going to be fighting this Olaf at any point in the game. Yeah, maybe it just feels like he needs to do it simply to survive any sort of inevitable encounter. You know, with Svenskeren, give him a little bit more survivability. It does reduce the damage of the person that you're smiting onto you. But Sven over here to the mid lane. Pobelter playing it pretty safe towards the top side, as that is where he has vision, that is where he has wards. So intelligent positioning does not give up any chance of a gank. He knew Smoothie was missing too. He just didn't want to risk it. I like what he's detecting there with those spidey good brain tingling. Yep, got good brain, good mental on Pobelter here in the mid lane, which you're going to need. When you're down 1-4, when you're down 2,000 gold just 11 minutes in, Team Liquid's going to have to make sure that they keep themselves level-headed as we head into the mid game, because they've got the team that can make some big team fight plays happen. If Skarner can get a big pick, if Impact hits a huge Ornn ulti, there's a lot that you can do here. And that's what they're looking for on the bottom side. Predator is ready here for Xmithie as the Cinderhulk has his ultimate up. They could try to look to set this up. You know, if Olleh can hit hit a tongue lash into a root. They could try to go for something, but not seeing the play develop, so Xmithie moves back off.
I like the choice to not try to force anything crazy. They know that they're still behind. The worst thing that you can do is put yourself even further behind by trying to make something happen that's not really naturally there. Cloud9 will just continue to farm up happily. Bottom lane even on farm. Top lane's a 15 advantage in the favor of Cloud9. Jensen walks right into Pobelter. Xmithie coming around, looking to make the play here. Svenskeren shows up, moving on to Pobelter. Jensen going to be taken very low. Svenskeren coming right back around. But it's Olleh and DoubleLift who have made their way into the fight now. Svenskeren going to be pulled to safety. Cloud9 smoothly disengaged.
Yeah, both bottom lanes just roaming up so quickly there. Olleh and DoubleLift take the Tahm Kench ult. They're looking to perhaps set a trap out of this bush. Svenskeren by himself, but C9 is pushing out the bottom lane, so he's just trying to buy time for Sneaky to shove up the minion wave and then maybe allow them to kind of get some positioning advantage here and try to threaten another red buff steal.
Here they go again. Xmithie already onto the buff. He's down 1 level to Svenskeren, so his smite will be slightly weaker.
He's coming in.
Still looking to steal it. Smoothie's running away. Olleh, unstoppable for Svenskeren, leveling up to 9 after stealing away the red buff. C9 disengaging on the right side, Liquid engaging on the left. Curtain call opens up to delay the regrouping of this team as the Rune Prison finds its way onto the Cloud9 members. Svenskeren likely going to be dropped here for the first time this game as Licorice runs from 4, the Dark Passage, gets him away to safety.
A nice lantern out there from Smoothie. TL, full collapse, 5 men come over. They do get the shutdown, so that is the red buff taken back. That is Pobelter with some gold in his pocket. Definitely a good job not allowing this red buff dominance to continue from Sven time and time again. They get the kill, they get his summoners out there too. So TL with the advantage on the play.
Let it be known, no one steals Xmithie's red buff 3 times in the same game.
Well, they did, but then they gave it back.
And gets away with it.
Exactly, Olleh. Good addition, good addition. So here's the initial play. The E plus Smite combo there. And Sven deciding to flash over the wall, trying to just kind of get out as they have 3 men from C9 over on the right side. And they're trying to go for a full escape, but as the Ragnarok ends, the flash is down. There's honestly a nice CC combo, taking him down, even able to give the kill over to Pobelter there, which is going to feel really good.
Smoothie with another big save, too. I mean, if that Thresh Lantern isn't there, you end up dropping 2 there instead of just 1. So Cloud9 can walk away from that one at least feeling a little bit okay about only losing 1 person, but Infernal Drake is live. Second Elemental Drake this game. This is the one teams are always so focused on getting for themselves, and Xmithie wants to get this Scuttle Crab control to just have a little bit of extra priority there.
Yeah, definitely the case. It allows you to have that division, and for any potential engagements, you're going to have the move speed there too. But definitely Smoothie has been so good on the roam so far this game. Not only just the save in that last play, but really has saved the lives of at least a couple teammates so far this game. You know, being in the right place at the right time with the lanterns has looked good, and that has kind of been his signature this whole split, roaming around, finding those plays, and it's Xmithie coming in with the Predator looking for a gank bot side.
Smoothie in some trouble, having to flash away, lands the death sentence back onto Olleh. They'll put as much damage onto him as they can, but they continue to maintain distance. You don't want to risk Xmithie being able to get on top of somebody with that ultimate. He did pop the flash, looking for it earlier, couldn't find it. Svenskeren coming down here, pops the Ragnarok. On to 3. Olleh may be in some trouble here. Death Sentence comes out, not going to find it.
Ryze coming in,
but now Cloud9 has gone too far forward. Smoothie plays him back, but he's going to be pulled anyway. DoubleLift getting the money for that one as Cloud9 now on the run. No Ragnarok available. Xmithie with the lockdown. Svenskeren's got no way out. And Cloud9 seems to be falling apart a little bit here.
Yeah, C9 overextending a bit there, trying to chase him down, trying to go for that kill onto Tahm Kench, but he is very tanky and committing so much of their damage to him, not able to take him down. And Pobelter with just another great roam to the bottom side of the map, in the right place at the right time, and helping them to fight back.
He said Liquid's got to keep a cool head. Liquid's got to make sure that they have those eyes open for avenues back into the game after a very shaky start. And they have done just that. The gold, now even between the two teams, they grab the Infernal Drake. They're feeling good.
Yeah, they really are, and they've done such a good job of stopping the bleeding. This was a 4-0 Svenskeren. He's now dropped a couple of kills in a row, and here's the initial play again. You see the Predator pop. Smoothie with a nice play onto Xmithie, and then flashing out of there, knowing he needs to create that distance. And C9 trading damage well back on Olleh. They think, hey, maybe we can actually go for this play. Olaf is very strong. You see him going in, and despite the fact that they are going for Olleh, it's really their only option, because if you go on a DoubleLift, Olleh just eats him up. But Sneaky was not up with them. He is not in position to actually be getting that damage out, so not able to put out enough damage. The team comes down, Pobelter arrives, ult in Smoothie, no flash on him. And just honestly a really nice job by TL moving around the map and collecting some of these kills.
And since they're the ones that are shutting their opponents down, they're getting a little bit more money for it. I mean, Svenskeren had some killing spree gold build up, and 1v1 between these two mid laners. Jensen caught out, being punished a little bit here. Cleanse still available to go. Pobelter won't chase it any further. He knows he already won the trade with the ball. Team Liquid very, very confident in where they're standing right now. DoubleLift and Olleh will move up, try to contest a little bit of this vision. Throw down the sweeper to clear out that last remaining sight ward there in the tribe rush. Smoothie and Sneaky looking to roam up, take that Skarner Spire so that Xmithie won't be strong if he does end up getting into yet another fight down here. Svenskeren grabs that crab for himself. And by the way, the jungle advantage that existed earlier is now essentially gone. Xmithie level 10, Svenskeren level 10. You've still got a bit more gold over on the side of Cloud9's jungler by about 1,200 or so, but considering this is a tank Skarner, falling behind that much, it doesn't feel that bad for him. He's still got the ult, he's still got the Predator.
And I like to call it the experience because that is such a big thing when you are down 2-3 levels as Smoothie was earlier. It's so hard to actually be able to contribute. You get so many stats just from the level ups and the higher ranks in your spells. So yes, he is behind in gold, but he is certainly relevant at this point, and the rest of his team has really been picking up a lot of kills, a lot of gold. You can see, Pobelter got the shutdown. DoubleLift has picked up a couple kills for himself, so their carries are at a good point, and the 3 meatballs in front, they don't need as much gold.
No, they're fine with just a little bit of money on the side as Team Liquid was looking for something in the bottom lane, but some good warding laid down by Cloud9 shuts that plan down prematurely. They'll just take the Scuttle Crab instead. Xmithie, he's feeling so good now. This red buff isn't under pressure anymore. All that has been washed away. Bad time, just forget about him. Svenskeren's forced to take his own reds now.
Feels good, feels good.
Feels good, man. Feels real good. Cloud9 will continue farming up underneath their own turret. Xmithie coming around from the side. Predator is popped. Dark Passage comes through. Curtain Call is going to be slowing him down. More slows down onto Smoothie, even though he aims to keep Sneaky alive. He's the one in some trouble when it comes down to it. DoubleLift with the lockdown and Olleh with the kill. Sneaky getting himself back, but that's still a kill going to Team Liquid. They grab that, they get their guys out. Jensen's coming around to try to stop them, though. He may be able to keep something up here.
Down too, though.
Xmithie has no flash. Olleh could still try to get them away. Pobelter there means Jensen has to retreat. Sneaky now going to maybe be in some trouble, but Impact has no mana. Sneaky still trying to get out of this one. Stuck around a little bit too long. Olleh and Pobelter are here. Surely they'll give the kill over to POB. Yes, they will. 6-4, Team Liquid.
Again, just the global plays here from TL. So good. Smoothie did a fantastic job of avoiding the Varus ult on his way in with the Predator. And when that doesn't hit, Sneaky can simply flash away. He is out of there, but Smoothie gets caught, and it's so hard to be able to escape that rundown if you can't nail your CC. And Pobelter again on the roams has just been fantastic for TL.
I mean, it looked like it might have gone bad for Cloud9, right? Jensen's coming around. Maybe he can clean somebody up, but Pobelter's right behind him. You can't make those kind of plays then. Rift Herald picked up for Cloud9. Some good news. First time in a little while here for this team. Let's see how Liquid made it happen.
And Smithie again able to avoid the Varus ult. That is so key. Look at the sidestep, anticipating that. Yes, he does get flayed back, but not only does avoiding the Varus ultimate force out Zeki's flash, it means he can catch up to Smoothie. That gets him the first kill. And then in the ensuing play, Zeki still does not have his flash, so C9 again getting some confidence, feeling like, hey, we survived this well enough, we can chase in. TP coming from behind, the Ryze ult coming from mid lane, and TL just makes such a good collapse here to pick up more kills and are able to gift it over to Pobelter, which is just the icing on the cake.
Initially when Impact TP'd in there, I was a little bit worried. I was like, does he have enough mana to actually do anything, or is he just going to walk at him menacingly? But thanks to the mana that he gets from his itemization so far, the small mana pool he had left, the mana puddle, was still enough to get out those couple critical spells.
Yeah, exactly. And Ornn, he built so much mana. As you said, he has the Abyssal Mask, he has the Frozen Heart. That's a lot of mana built up, and the spells are pretty low cost, right? The most expensive one being the 100 mana on the ultimate, so didn't need too much. Nicely done by him. The one thing that did go well for Cloud9 during that play, though, is the fact that A, they got the Rift Herald, and B, Licorice got the first turret on the top side.
Cloud9 uses that Rift Herald, takes down the tier 1 turret here in the mid lane. Team Liquid wants to at least force the ultimate out of Svenskeren here. Xmithie popping the red smite, won't get a lot for it, but CC not in the right spot. Impact grabs the kill.
It's just such a good CC chain there from TL. Set up the DoubleLift route, followed up by the Skarner stun. They don't even need to commit the Skarner ultimate there because they know he's flashless, they know he's locked down. So again, TL able to battle back. C9 takes something, and TL feels like they just take that much more.
And they'll take the blue buff away from their opponents as well, kind of returning that favor from early on. You take our red, we'll take your blue. We'll
Red
call
buff
it even.
regards.
Red, yeah. That's one way to do it. They'll move on to the Mountain Drake, third Elemental Drake spawning this game. Another garage sale. Yep. Actually, we're not seeing multiple repeats this time around. We'll see what number 4 is.
Every dragon matters.
Every dragon matters at the end of the day. For Team Liquid, they're building up that team fight power, that objective power, and let's see how they made this happen on the Sneaky.
Yeah, here it is once again. They just want to push up, use the Rift Herald, get that kill. Svenskeren, honestly, with some nice side steps to avoid the Jhin root, and it looks like Smoothie was trying to move over to save Svenskeren. That's who they're expecting the target to be. Then MX says, okay, well, Sven's out. I'll just take Sneaky. So landing the ultimate on there, it's a flashless Varus. Nothing Sneaky can do to actually get away without the help of the team. Setting it up very well for that Jhin root.
Jensen getting himself away from Impact, who was waiting in the brush there for some of the vision to be laid down. Impact and Olleh will easily be able to clear out these wards as they continue to secure more and more of the map in their favor.
And it's so critical for TL that the kills are going to their carries, because Ornn, Skarner, Tahm, Kench is not a lot of teamfight damage. It needs to come from the Ryze. It needs to come from this Jhin, and the fact that they are getting kind of donated a lot of this gold. They're both over 10 CS a minute. They both have a lot of kills. Means they are going to be able to outpace the defensive itemization of some of the tanks from Cloud9 and really have a lot of threat to put out in these team fights.
DoubleLift's on 2.5 items. Pobelter's on 2 items with 2,000 gold sitting in the bank. Both these guys will do enough damage for an entire team. Don't you worry the next time the team fight rolls around. Unless you're Cloud9. Then maybe it's time to have a little bit of worries up there, because you've got to find some way to deal with this. Your Olaf, he's got health.
Flank on a Sneaky.
But now Sneaky again.
Oh, no.
Gonna be caught out. He's just not having a good day against Liquid today. Olleh grabs the kill, and that's 8-4 for Team Liquid.
The global play from TL is just to clean this game. Olleh ulting in. The ultimate from Ornn. They're just finding Sneaky, catching him out. Smoothie not in position this time to find that Lantern to pull his AD carry to safety, and means another kill goes the way of TL. They are setting up vision around Baron. They are threatening to go for more.
See what they can find here in mid lane. They did utilize quite a few resources to make that kill on Sneaky happen, popping the Tahm Kench ult, the Ornn ult, the Skarner ult. So walking away from this fight, they don't feel too bad about it. They have Pobelter in the top lane, putting pressure onto the tier 1.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to get a lot of damage down on this turret, but he does have to back off fairly early. His ultimate is available, so Olaf cannot interrupt that by himself, but if Gnar were there too, that would be something to worry about. And for C9, when you get to this sort of position, it becomes more and more about the plays you make, the picks you can make. Because TL is moving around the map so well, there's no way out, honestly, for Sneaky. Unless Smoothie just was there behind him waiting with the Lantern immediately, he was never going to get out. And you can see Smoothie is frustrated that he wasn't in position, that he wasn't there to save his AD carry.
And let's revisit the conversation we were having earlier about Team Liquid, about this star-studded roster that came together under the Team Liquid organization to essentially be this team that everybody said was going to be this huge playoff material team. This team that was like, yeah, maybe they're going to be the team that finally makes NA have a big international showing even. All these high hopes, these expectations. And we mentioned how it would be crazy that they're still looking to secure that playoff spot. But if you can do this against the team that for so long has sat on one of the playoff bye positions, that bodes very well, as now Team Liquid again looking to set up the play in the enemy jungle. Svenskeren will be pulled to safety by the Dark Passage. Turret goes down top lane. That's the final tier 1 on the Cloud9 side destroyed. Liquid now has more room to move into the enemy jungle, place more wards down. Xmithie stealing away more and more camps as Liquid will push up towards that Azir turret in the mid lane.
It nicely smited away there by Xmithie, but as you said, for TL, your worries about the rest of the season start to go away when you have a super dominant week 9, when you beat a team like Cloud9, and they're looking for Licorice here.
Here it comes again. DoubleLift on a killing spree with a deadly flourish. The Azir turret falls as well. Another pick for Liquid. And Cloud9 just constantly dropping these single players over and over and over again to the Team Liquid pick potential.
And one of the things you kind of have to wonder about is, you know, should there be QSSs on C9 more and more, right? And now QSS gets picked up by Licorice, but he's the first one to really pay the Skarner tax. And when you compare that to the earlier game we saw, there were so many QSSs being bought up against the Skarner. So this gives Smoothie a lot of options, really. When your team is ahead, you can pull in pretty much anyone and get that kill.
Ghost from Pobelter looking for Sneaky, gonna be caught out by the ultimate. Smoothie rotates up there to keep his ally safe. Svenskeren closing in now as well. He has the Predator, but he's got no way to interrupt the ulti. Smoothie again, doing everything in his power to help Cloud9 win this game. Pobelter, DoubleLift going on a rampage, taking down Jensen. Svenskeren grabbing the kill onto POB, but now Smoothie is down as well. This Jhin is massive. It's a double kill over to Impact. Svenskeren's on the run. Xmithie looking to close the distance with the Righteous Glory. Impact's got the ulti. They've got the follow-up CC. They've got the kill.
TL are just collapsing way too fast. Pobelter gets taken out, but the whole team is there to support him. That is 4 kills. That is Baron. That is TL with a stranglehold on this game over C9.
It looked so good at the start for Cloud9, but Team Liquid just flipped the switch after a few minutes into the game, and they have been on fire ever since.
Yeah, they have just been killing it. Here it is again. Look at the damage coming out from Pobelter onto Sneaky. One combo bringing him extremely low, but Svenskeren is coming in. Jensen is roaming up. They feel that they need to go for some of these plays, but Tahm Kench ultimate, Skarner running over, creates such a fast rotation for them that Jensen is getting caught out on his rotation. He gets taken down. The GP came in from Impact, was not matched by Licorice because the fight was essentially already lost before he could go for it. And TL just really has been on point with their rotation, and this is what you want out of Impact when you see this player. Steady on a tank, moving around on the map, making plays. Impact has been fantastic, and it has just been such a good team effort from TL.
3-0-5 compared to 0-1-0. Licorice has had an impossible time being involved in anything this game, while Impact has made his way into play after play. Cloud9 apparently not afraid of the Baron up. Team Liquid moving in for the Mountain Drake. They want to make this fight be their own. Xmithie goes in. Impact uses the Ornn ultimate, looking to start this fight off in earnest. Xmithie in the pit, going to be taking the damage from multiple members. Xmithie keeping himself alive with the stopwatch, still looking to get himself away. Svenskeren wants to secure the buff. Instead, it's going to be Xmithie that grabs it into the back line. It's Licorice that dies first. Svenskeren going to be taken down second. Cloud9 is on the run, but can they even get away? The Abyssal Void into the back line. It's Sneaky to drop next, and it's 4 dead on Cloud9.
4 dead. Everyone from TL alive. Baron buff available. They stole the Mountain Dragon as well, and they have minions here. They're pushing up mid. They are looking to deal a death blow to Cloud9 right now.
That was such an audacious call from Cloud9, as behind as they were with Baroned up opponents to force a fight in open ground. Liquid calls their bluff and reaps all the rewards.
And they're looking like they just want to close this out. They're going to stick around, and they are just going straight for the throat here. Svenskeren is up in 5. Smoothie is coming up, but I don't know if it's going to be enough of time.
Nexus turret number 1 is already down. The Ornn ultimate going to be used yet again. Nexus turret number 2 under fire. It's the Nexus itself now. Azael. Team Liquid making a statement here in week 9, and they take down Cloud9.
A sub 30-minute win for TL, a team that has been hot and cold in week 9, coming in and just tearing Cloud9 apart.
Hot and cold back and forth, but today they were absolutely sizzling. The first part of the game looked rough. It looked like Cloud9 had the coordination and the team play to really put Liquid on the back foot, but as soon as they were there, they responded. They were able to rally, they kept cool, and they turned the game around and never let go. As soon as Liquid appeared to be in the driver's seat this game, Cloud9 never had a moment where you said, oh, they're taking this back. They've got this. Liquid just went on completely off.
I mean, they were on fire. Their map movements were incredible. So much credit to the soul laners this game from TL. You know, Pobelter was roaming constantly, always in the right place at the right time for the play. You know, Xmithie staying cool after being put so far behind. To watch the first 5 minutes of that game, you would say, yeah, Smithie's probably going to end 0-10 or something. He was 4-2-10 on the Skarner, who is down 2 to 3 levels, who lost all his red buffs off these early invades. And he just maintained his composure. He fought back. He ends up 2 levels up on Svenskeren and really had a big impact on the game despite this awful start. So they have got to be so happy about it.
I mean, Xmithie's always this player that we've talked about too, being like the brain of a team. He's the guy who's okay throwing himself under the bus to make sure everybody else gets ahead. And it didn't matter if he felt like a speed bump at the beginning of the game. He was able to continue just being such a critical part of the Team Liquid engine.
Definitely is, and for C9, they are now 3-5 in their last 8 and on risk of losing their playoff bye.
Well, for Team Liquid, it feels fantastic. Let's throw things over to Olleh and the newest mid laner to enter the postseason.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Pobelter. Congratulations. How does it feel you and Liquid have secured playoffs?
Feels really, really good, actually. coming into the weekend, there's like a seed of doubt, like, oh my God, we might actually not make playoffs if we like choke or if CLG just pops off or something like that. But really happy to win our match against C9, which I think we were considering to be like our harder match. We play Optic tomorrow. So to secure playoffs off that first match feels really good.
Cast away that doubt because you took down Cloud9, a top team. And speaking to you, at the beginning of the split, you kind of set out on this journey to prove that you were the best mid laner. Where do you feel, how do you feel like, excuse me, how do you feel like you've accomplished that?
Not really, but I think I'm playing pretty well right now, and I'm just going to keep trying to play really well. Yeah, that probably sounds really uninteresting, but that's the truth, yeah.
Well, I mean, you do have playoffs to prove yourself, yet again. Who would you think is your biggest challenge going into it?
Probably TSM.
All right, well, going into playoffs, how confident are you? Let's hear about that.
Feeling pretty confident. You know, it's like the victory high we just won, so of course I'm going to be like, oh yeah, we're so good. But yeah, I mean, things are coming together a lot more as a team, and I think we're finally starting to nail down what we were bad at. And I think on playoffs, we're really going to show a different Team Liquid than people have seen.
Well, Pobelter, congratulations again on your victory. And for more in the game, let's hear from the State Farm analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Avali. Team Liquid locking in their playoff spot with that victory over Cloud9. And really, this game turned on a dime. In a moment where C9 was controlling the early game, Team Liquid completely strikes back and grabs hold of it all.
Exactly. This game starts out all like C9 highlight reel almost. It's Svenskeren on Olaf. This is actually the second invade that they were able to pull off. He first invades at level 1. They steal away the red and the Raptors. Smoothie always roaming around there in the early game with a lot of saves, but it does definitely turn, like you're talking about, as Team Liquid strike back.
And I think you have to look at the bot lane a little bit for what went wrong. That level 1 that you're talking about, they ended up going for this level 2 all-in against a level 1 Tahm Kench and below 4 summoners and can't grab the kill. So that kind of threw away that advantage that Mbae made. Then Sven started making some mistakes, and then they start picking on this bot lane real hard.
Yeah, it felt like after that point where Sneaky and Smoothie use their flashes offensively and they're on cooldown, they were on cooldown the whole game.
Yeah.
Because Impact, Xmithie, they just kept going right for Sneaky, constantly just diving him. Every time I was up, he would try and use it, but yeah, he definitely
More arguments for Spellbook then.
And you also to be picked up with bot lane. Maybe. You also have to look at Licorice. Like, where was he in any of these plays? He's not TPing in this clear team fight that's about to break out. Doesn't join in.
I mean, how many times did he even use TP to join the team in total in this game? He next to never?
At this point in the game, he was 0-1 and 0. Even at this part, I'm pretty sure he is 2, and this is going to be completed scoreline as 0-2 and 0. His TP never was a factor. He canceled it a couple times and then got picked off once.
To be fair, for some of those, a lot of them, I can hear the C9 call, and Sneaky's like, oh, I'm dead.
I'm dead, no TP, no reason.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, it is an interesting discussion, though, especially when we consider, you know, Licorice and how he fits onto C9, where the back half of their split, they're now 3-5 in terms of a record, but that's essentially representative of when tanks came back into the meta in the top lane, and we generally talk about tanks for top laners being more team-centric picks, right? Because of the use of TP needs to be communicated and clear and set up, as opposed to, hey, I'm just split pushing on this champ that I'm mechanically good at.
And when C9 looked at their best, it was, all right, TP back to lane, we send a lot of resources up there, carry versus carry matchups, and it's a completely different game that C9's playing now. And for a while, their bot lane had been doing a good job of getting leads. This time, not at all. They blow their one advantage that they had, and then they get picked on. They end the game with 10 deaths, their second most, going back to week 3 against Echo Fox when they got destroyed.
They were not the only ones to be dying, though. Svenskeren had his fair share as well, and that was a concern for us right out the gate in, you know, week 1. Of course, during those weeks, it was the rest of C9 that kind of covered for him and was able to get him back into the game. Late game, he would perform.
And I would credit a lot of this due to the good roams of Pobelter to turn around the early game, because a fed Olaf early can be one of the scariest things in league right now, but Pobelter, constant roams, he turned around a lot of these ganks where it just made Svenskeren look like he's over chasing in these situations because of his Ryze ultimates, you know, making up a lot of distance.
I think what's interesting here too is the fact that, again, you know, Echo Fox picking up their win puts a game separation between them and Cloud9. For CLG, though, of all teams, the one that was hoping for Team Liquid or TSM to go 0-2 is now reliant on TSM losing today to Golden Guardians and then then CLG themselves beating TSM tomorrow. So it makes that storyline for 6th place all that much more fragile.
Yeah, they got to be mad watching this game. Seeing that monstrous lead that C9 kind of had with the jungle and the bot lane getting thrown away completely. You know, Sven's been struggling a lot with those deaths recently, so partly on him. But he was 4-2-0 at some point, so, you know, he was the main carry for this team and didn't get much help from anyone. And kind of Logic Gaming didn't get any help either.
Well, and as well, right? Cloud9 now is got to be concerned about losing their playoff bye to a team like 100 Thieves, who's now tied up with them in the standings. So a lot of importance being placed on tomorrow's matchups for them. Now, coming up, Golden Guardians, they try to play spoiler as they face TSM in Game 4. So don't touch that browser.